Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, I did say we're doing it. We are a little bit delayed in terms of Reforged update videos from Wargaming. So we've had a look at the set changes, the tech tree changes, and sort of all around that. But Wargaming also released a video in terms of graphics and physics changes. So we're going to watch the video, we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to tell my opinion, basically. So let's get into the video Wargaming released a few days ago.
Moving to Unreal Engine changed everything for Blitz. Now we have the power to improve graphics, effects, and physics.
Now, I'm going to stop it there because that is basically the whole idea. So Wargaming have just said there that moving to Unreal Engine, it changes everything in terms of graphics, physics, etc., etc. Now, in hindsight, that is all, as players, that is all we wanted. We didn't really want any change when it comes to tech trees or sets or anything like that, or commanders or anything like that. We didn't want that. Basically, all we wanted was better graphics and physics. That is all we wanted. We didn't want any other change. Literally, that is it. We wanted the ability to flip our tanks, which we can do. We wanted the ability to have other things that, you know, we couldn't have. Marks of excellence, you know, things like that is what people wanted for years and years and years that they could never have on the old engine. So now we have Unreal Engine. That is all we wanted.
After the last test, we received a huge wave of feedback from you. We listened, we analyzed, and we made changes to the things that raised the most questions. And thanks to the new engine, we can respond faster and do more. We've made a lot of visual improvements, many of them subtle, but all of them important. New grass. More detailed outlines.
And to be fair, some of these look so good. I mean, look at the left side to the right side, the difference. It just looks so more realistic. And again, that is what we wanted. That is all we wanted. And like I said in my other video that Wargaming done is, respect to Wargaming for sort of doing this gradually. Like, it's not going to be a quick sort of turnaround in terms of Unreal Engine. I like the fact that they've released sort of the patch so everyone could play it, and then they've sort of taken everybody's feedback, and then they're going to do another patch. So and that is upcoming. So in fact, Wargaming are going to release a stream, or they're streaming today, talking about all this. So stay tuned for the stream, and then straight after the stream, we are actually going to play Unreal Engine, the Reforged update. So I will be making another video on that later on today. Well, I've already got the video, but I have to wait until the stream has finished. So do stay tuned for that Wargaming stream.
Dynamic shadows. Upgraded textures. New fire and smoke effects. Together, they create a richer visual experience and make battles feel more immersive. Our goal is to keep the look and feel you're used to, but make it even better.
The look and the feel that you're used to. And again, some of it, I mean, I'll talk about it later in my video. A lot of it does feel the same in terms of play style. But again, I will talk about this more in my next video. Things that I don't like, things that I do like.
During the last round of testing, we collected your feedback and used it to fine-tune some of the changes. One of the concerns raised during the previous test was FPS drops. We've already made several improvements to performance, and we'll be testing them in the upcoming Ultra test. It's still a work in progress, and optimizing performance across all devices remains one of our top priorities. Your feedback and test data.
Again, things like this Wargaming should be looking at, the FPS drop rates, etc.
The image looked blurry in certain moments. We've adjusted the settings and visual parameters. That blur effect is now gone. Another point of feedback was the color scheme of the battle UI. It felt unfamiliar and too bright. We've brought back the classic colors: green for allies, red for enemies.
Which again, like, Wargaming should never really change that, because we're not asking for this change. Like, I would be, like I said before, I would be happy if the game, it was exactly the same in terms of tech trees. The garage looked exactly the same, just better physics and better graphics. That is all we wanted.
How the HP bar responds to damage. It's much clearer and more readable than in the previous test. Some players found certain UI elements, like status notifications and ribbons, too small. We've improved their readability.
And again, it's little things like this, like, fair enough, Wargaming should be making these changes. If they get it wrong, this is what the ultra tests are for. And it's just little things, like people have complained that the ribbons are too small and unreadable, so they changed it. So this is what I do commend Wargaming for. That, like, they're not just looking at the bigger picture, they're looking at little things as well that people are sort of moaning or complaining about. So I'm glad they are listening to leaving these things as well.
Mobile players asked for more control over the interface, especially the ability to move command buttons. We're fixing that.
Which that shouldn't have never been a problem anyway.
National voiceovers will stay enabled by default. But if you're curious to try something new, you can now switch to commander voiceovers in the settings whenever you like.
Which I don't like that. I would just prefer the national voice. But if you got your own commander, to be fair, it should be, like, I'm not a lover of these commanders, but hey ho, that they're in the game. They have some good effects. I mean, some of them could be overpowered. But at the end of the day, if he's your commander, he should be sort of making the sound anyway. But the fact that you can choose the commander or you can choose the national voice as well is pretty good.
The physics system has been completely reworked. In the past, it was simplified. Now, it's fully simulated with real friction, sliding, and
which is good, which is very, very good.
Tank movement now behaves much closer to how real vehicles respond. But at the same time, we're keeping the gameplay dynamic and fun, with a few smart compromises. For example, tanks can flip.
See, I like this. Obviously, people have been asking for the flipping tanks for so long. And of course, Wargaming were never able to do something like this in the old engine. But the fact that they can now do it and people are looking forward to this is really, really good. And of course, when it comes to what PC, if your tank flips, obviously then you're damaged, you can then die. The fact that with this, in Blitz, your tank can flip, but it will always flip back around. So it won't have any effect on your tank at all.
Back on their tracks.
Which is good. Really, really good.
At first, the new physics might feel unusual, but very quickly, you'll start to notice the positives. Better control, more weight, more immersion. And if something gets in the way of fun, we'll keep tuning it based on your feedback. For example, some players noticed a drop in speed during turns or tank behavior that fell off. We are already adjusting individual parameters to bring back that familiar Blitz handling. We've seen comments saying that tanks feel slower in the Reforged update. We looked into it, and yes, there was a difference.
See, things like that, like people have said, like, people are actually complaining about these things, thinking, they're playing the Ultra Test 1 and they're like, do you know what? This tank feels a little bit slower. Wargaming have listened. They've looked at the current, they've looked at the Ultra Test 1, and then they have changed it for the Ultra Test 2. So, little things like this that you should applaud Wargaming for even looking at, and they found a problem with it.
Some players mention that aiming and camera movement feel different, even with the same settings and sensitivity. We've made a number of improvements in this area to make the experience smoother and more responsive. You'll be able to test these changes yourself and share your updated feedback. We've added a new armor penetration highlight system.
Which this, again, I'm not a lover of, because it's different, You're used to red that you can't pen and just nothing if you can pen. So I do like the fact that for beginners, really, they are adding the sort of the green bar. So it shows that you can penetrate, especially for new players. This will show that, yep, if I shoot green, I should be able to penetrate.
And helps quickly assess whether a shot is likely to go through. If you want to try it out or explore the combined mode,
just like we've seen there.
All available options in the settings. These changes aren't final. We're continuing to improve the game, and your feedback is a key part of that process. We want to test all of this together with you. join the Open Ultra.
And again, these changes aren't final. That again, we know that because Ultra Test 2 is coming in a few days for you guys. And I'm sure with that Ultra Test, a few more things will come about. And again, Wargaming will look at that feedback and they will change. So that is the video. You know, I'm really looking forward to the Reforged. I think every time we test it, it does look better and better. And you know, who will see? We'll see when it eventually gets released officially, just how good this thing is. But for now, it is looking really, really good. So let me know what you think of Reforged and the Ultra Test 2. Are you going to be playing it? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.